Purchase your tracks today.
Welcome back to your favorite sports competitive betting show. I am your host, Josh Elliott. It is playoffs, ladies and gentlemen, for the best sports handicappers are ready to battle it out here. It's playoffs. Playoffs are here. It's a brand new season. This is what matters most between these four guys. They have accumulated the most or over 52 positive units so far in the regular season. That's impressive. 52 units, ladies and gentlemen, for $100 better. That is over $5,000. So it's two of our most anticipated matchups of the season. So you better strap in. It is going to be a good one. Let's make some money tonight, gentlemen. Let's see who's entering in the sports arena tonight. In the red corner, this man started out with the hottest start Call Your Shot has ever seen. Racked up 5 wins plus 17 units. You know what his kryptonite is, though? Luke Hardo and Nikki G. Nikki G, the Odds Fathers. Those are his only two people he's ever lost to. He's got an all-time 44 wins and 22 losses, profiting over 40 units. If you're wondering who the per source is when Shefty's tweeting it out, it's this guy. It is Source Podcast. How's it going, Joe?
It's going well, thanks, Josh. Josh, I'm going to have to use that intro on my show from now on. I'm going to have to record that and use it. It's just too perfect. Loving the mustache, Josh, as well.
Yeah, you're welcome. I know. I can be your hype man if you want, too. I'm a pretty good hype man, I feel
We're going to get you in the ring announcer, all right?
Yeah, I'm good for that.
You could be a great, MMA ring announcer. It's perfect.
I think I could do it. I've been practicing some of Bruce Buffer's lines. I think I could do it.
Buffer's nothing on you, my friend.
And you're going up in the blue corner. After getting off to a cold start to the season, he continued to battle back and evidently had the best last 3 weeks of the season out of anybody, going 9-3, profiting over 8.72 units to finish off the season. This isn't anything new for him. He's been to the playoffs before. He knows what he's got to do. It is shoot or shoot. Kenny Cotterill, how you doing, my man?
I don't know if I know what it takes to get it done in the playoffs, as Luke could attest to, but I am excited to be here, excited to give some plays out. Happy holidays to everyone who's tuning in tonight, and let's make some profit.
I kind of meant more like, you lost in the playoffs last year, so you kind of know what you got to do to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I know. I'm happy you're here, Kenny. Happy to have you. In our next matchup, in the red corner, he had the opportunity to clinch first place, but decided, you know what? You got to beat the best to be the best. He wanted to face Call Your Shot season winner right off the hop. No stranger to winning picks and profiting units. This guy has finished with 17 wins, 11 losses, profiting over 13.7 units, all the way from Mexico. It is Dylan Smith. He is not here right now. Like I said, he is in Mexico. Don't know what kind of state he's in. I just got a Snapchat from him. He's at a hibachi. I think that's what it's called, where they cook it in for it. Yeah, a hibachi. He might chime in. We might see him. We might not. But either way, I have his picks and a very, very slimmed down analysis. But we got his picks for you. So he's going up against, in the blue corner, looking to make it a second Call Your Shot championship in a row. This man has brought it all season long, going 17 wins, 10 losses, one push, profiting over 10 units. He's never finished higher than third in the standings before. So playoffs is his favorite season. He is the Tampa Bay Rays of Call Your Shot. He might not be the flashiest team. He might not be, he might limp into playoffs, but he's ready to compete and always going to be a tough beat. It is just Luke. How's it going, my man?
I feel like I just won like the Hustle Award. I feel like that's what it is. But hey, I'm glad to be here. Can't wait. Best of luck to everybody this go around. And I mean, best of luck to Kenny because I don't have to play him this round. So
We take offense to that over on this side of the fight.
All right, gentlemen. Well, quick disclaimer before we get going. You know the format. We've been doing it all season long. 4 picks, 7 units. Most profit wins. They can make a spread pick, money line pick, prop pick, total pick for any sport, anything that they think will make you money. There are no rules except for one. No, the value of the pick must be no greater than plus 350 in American odds. We're also making these picks for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and sometimes Monday. Games picked tonight could have a potential value change or a line change. So, for example, Miami Heat favored 4.5 tonight. For tomorrow's night's game, that could change, go to 5.5, 6.5, 7.5. If not, maybe even the other way around. So bet with us now. Grab a drink, grab your friend, grab your grandma. I do not care. Let's make some money, gentlemen. And just before we do get going, I would like to remind everybody what these gentlemen are playing for. They will be playing for a grand prize of $400 and as well as a $100 gift card to Player Athletics, one of our main sponsors there. So it's something to play for, lots to play for, to be honest with you. And congratulations to James Makes Picks. He got the consolation prize. He will also be getting a $50 player gift card. So congratulations to him. But the real prize is what we're playing for right now. So let's go to Source. Let's start it off. Let's go to Source for his first pick. Source, what are you running with?
Well, we're going to go with the New England money line here. It's minus 130 at BetUS. They are playing the Bills, who they beat rather handily without throwing the football pretty much at all in a game 2 weeks ago. They're coming off a loss against the Colts. There's two things Bill Belichick hates. One is losing, and two is the Buffalo Bills. So we're going to take New England here on the money line, but it's only a 1-unit play because they did play 2 weeks ago, and we'll see what adjustments have been made by Sean McDermott and co.
And now what can you really – I mean, just that game 2 weeks ago, you mentioned it. That game was, I mean, awful to watch. I couldn't imagine what it would be playing.
Oh, I thought it was
the
fantastic.
winds were so strong. What can you take from that game, with this bet specifically? Can you take anything from, 2 weeks ago? Is it going to be a completely different game, or what do you think is going to happen? Sure,
I think you could take two things. One, you could take the fact that Buffalo was unable to stop the run. I think that's something you can really take to the house. I know it was only a couple of big run plays that kind of sealed the deal there, but still, Patriots were running the ball the entire game. Were able to get first downs, get touchdowns. So that's good to see from the Patriots sideline. The other side of it is the Bills didn't get to see Mac Jones. So yes, it's the second game, but the Patriots defense was able to see Josh Allen. I know not at his best, and some of those receiver sets with Stephon Diggs and Dawson Knox, his two biggest weapons there. Cole Beasley will be out with COVID-19 as he's anti-vax, so he won't be playing. He's been ruled out. So we'll see kind of which way they go with that. But mostly, Bill Belichick gets a look at you and your offense. He's going to out eventually. They don't have a look at Mac Jones yet, so we'll see what Mac Jones can do here at home.
Yeah, and I'm sure they've seen Josh Allen before. Bill Belichick has seen Josh Allen before, so
and not a lot of problems there in the past.
It's going to be interesting. This is kind of one of those games where it was tough to bet for me, just personally, because that game that we did watch 2 weeks was tough to watch. I think what was there, maybe like 7 total attempted passes or something like that, something ridiculous. So
I hate to break it to you, Josh, but there were 3 total attempted passes on the
there was 3
side. 2
for
3 for 19 yards is Mac Jones. He's not going to win the Heisman with those numbers. He's not going to be winning any MVPs here in the end. He took home the W, and we know that's all the Patriots care about.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Somebody else in this show has the other side. I'm interested to see who that is. Stay tuned. Let's go to Kenny for his first pick, though. Kenny, what are you rolling with for your first one?
Yeah, so my first pick's going to be tomorrow night. I'm taking Indianapolis money line against Arizona. The Colts desperately need this game. I mean, looking at the fact that right now the Titans are down 10-0, they could very well lose this football game tonight. Colts win. Division is definitely still in play for them. Cardinals defense, the weakness of that defense is the run game, and Jonathan Taylor's been tearing it up, I guess you could say. this season. So I think he's going to have a good day on the ground. We also saw Arizona struggle last week, not having DeAndre Hopkins. I think they need to figure out a way to get Kyler to run the ball a bit more to get that offense going. But overall, I just like the way Indy's playing. I think they're one of the hottest teams in the NFL. So I'm rolling with them to take this game on the money line.
I do like this pick, but, you know, Kyler Murray, obviously, like, I don't know what injury report that the Arizona has. Like, what's AJ Green looking like? Is he's obviously in? What's Christian Kirk is out though? Is that correct?
As far as I know, yeah, AJ Green should be playing. He didn't play well last week, but then again, the entire offense didn't play well last week. So, like, it is a spot where I have a little bit of concerns that it could be a bounce back game, but I don't know. That offense just looked really bad against a Detroit team that really doesn't have many weapons. They made Jared Goff look like Aaron Rodgers out there. So, yeah, I really do like Indy this week. I think they're in a great spot to pick up the win.
I also agree. I really like Indy so far this season. They might be probably my favorite team right now. I don't know. I'm a bandwagon jumper. Who knows? But Mr. Business, all the best to you on that pick there, Kenny. Now we're going to go to Dylan for his first pick. And his first pick is kind of an odd one. You can find it on some sportsbook. He found this one on Bet365, but it is going to be the Los Angeles Chargers to lead after every quarter, plus 115 for 1 unit. Now, he gave me a very, very short analysis. I'm going to try and find it here, but sweet. It's here.
I'm sure that just has something to do with the Mexico internet, right? Like,
I'm sure it is.
Because there's no reason why he wouldn't give detailed analysis outside of that. I can't think.
Well, Chargers are playing Texans, I believe.
They're playing the Texans. The Texans have 9 new players on the COVID list. 6 more today who will be ineligible to play on Sunday. So
I got one message on this specific game, and all it was is Texans suck. That's
he's not wrong. You know,
he's not wrong. I mean, it's one of those, but this also, obviously, it's a very, very underrated pick if you think about it. If you can find it on your sportsbook, plus 115 plus money, but it is one of those things. It's like if you have a bad, quarter, you're fucked. I mean, 1 quarter and you're done, right? But I mean, he thinks they're going to be leading after each quarter. So all the best to him. And like Job said, a bunch of guys on Texans are out. I think you just said, right?
And that includes Brandon Cooks. Yeah, they're missing 9 players because of COVID, including their number 1 receiver, and 5 or 6 players on their defensive line, 3 defensive tackles and 2 linebackers as of last time that I checked. So this is a good bet. I like this bet a lot. You do have to be careful. The LA Chargers do have a COVID issue of their own. As of right now, it looks like Austin Eckler will not clear protocols in time. That could change. If you lose Justin Herbert, well, then all of a sudden this is really stupid. So this is something I would really wait on.
Yeah, but if you want to jump on it now, like the value is there. I'm sure it will go down eventually, but
it's one of those bets where if you get out of the first quarter with the Chargers, you're not worried about the Texans coming back.
Exactly,
like you just have to get out of that first quarter. If you're up 7-0, 10-3, something like that, then they should be able to coast through this one. But yeah, it's always that first quarter that you're worried about. Like all that it takes, as you said, is like an interception at the wrong time, a missed field goal, something like that, and it could throw them for a loop.
Yeah, I agree. That first quarter is going to be absolutely key, like you said. So let's keep moving to Luke for his first pick. What do you got there, Luke? Always leave it to Luke to be the first one muted. Always.
Damn it. Is there a God in heaven? Golly. Okay, anyway. This is my 1 unit play. I've been beating the drum for Tom Brady, especially Tom Brady in December. And I mean, now it's Tom Brady in December after a loss. I just don't see Tampa Bay dropping an embarrassing loss by them. So I just don't see them losing this game. I really don't. Tampa, Tom, and the boys, I think they'll be fine this week after this.
Yeah, another one I don't know 100% on the injury report, but Godwin obviously out.
Yeah, he's done.
Godwin is done. Fournette is done. Mike Evans is probably done for this week. So,
but they get Antonio Brown Brown back this week.
I don't want to talk about that
And-
clown. And they got Lev. Hey, don't worry, they got Lev Bell too.
Yeah,
This
they
is
got
like
Lev Bell in that.
2010. I'd be so pumped.
But that's
This is
kind
the
of one thing that
2012 Madden Dream Team.
Yeah, absolutely.
that's one thing where we haven't really seen, Tom play without all those weapons, and he's kind of having a hard time making everybody around him better. Now, all those injury reports, that don't worry at all. You think Tom comes back, back to slinging it?
He still has number 87 on the field.
Yeah, that's true.
True enough.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough. That's
He's also playing Cam Newton, so I don't think that
That
they're worried about
and-
Cam throwing it all over the park
Dude,
on them
I
or
guarantee you,
anything.
whatever Scotty Miller's play is this week, fucking play it.
yeah.
Because he's gonna ball this week.
He's gonna get the number 2 corner. That's a really good defense there in Carolina, underrated. But he's getting the number 2 corner on probably a short field every time. Because
Yeah.
my guess is Cam Newton's going to be good for 2 interceptions, maybe a fumble, and a couple of turnovers.
He'll
So-
go 8 for 20, get replaced by PJ Walker, and then we'll all be like, "Oh, but Cam's so good. Why doesn't he get to start?"
He's
somewhere?
back.
He's the
Oh my
best.
God, he got in the
not
end
so
zone
bad
though. He
anymore.
got a running touchdown. So he's super good.
And then they'll get down to the the 5-yard line, and Cam Newton will rush it every single down until they get it on fourth.
Right.
So
Cam
what a
Newton would be a
selfish
great
self-
running back. Or if you're running a 2 QB system like some college coaches, Cam Newton's your guy in the red zone, but that's about it.
Him and Tim Tebow just running the Wildcat next to each
Yeah.
other.
Deadly.
Matchup nightmare.
Yeah, so Luke's going with Tampa Bay -10 for a unit there. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It's gonna be an interesting game. Carolina's pretty shit, so I definitely agree with you not taking them. But yeah, all right. Sorry, so let's go to the second round here. What are you running with for your second pick?
Well, we're going to go with a team that has some COVID injuries, some other injuries, but they're getting too many points and they're getting too little love on the money line here. We're going to take the Cleveland money line plus 290 against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. The Packers, frankly, have been playing very well defensively. They've been very good against the pass, not so good against the run, but they've been out to such big leads that it doesn't really make a difference. I think this is the team to slow them down. I fully expect Nick Chubb to have 150 yards on the ground in this game, so that'll be exciting. 290 is too much. Some people now have it at 260. It's fallen back to +7, and then 260. If you can get 7.5 still at this point, I would take that. But the 290 is just too juicy, especially in a playoff matchup here where we're going to be, units are the premium. So we're taking a plus 290 for that one unit, trying to get a little bit of a jump on things.
What kind of impact has Kareem Hunt had now that he's back for this team?
It's a real change of pace. Both running backs are good. Obviously, Nick Chubb is running back probably 5 in the entire league, especially inside the 20s. But Nick Chubb is really a power option. He's good out of the backfield. And when you can keep Nick Chubb healthy, with under 25 rush attempts, then he becomes explosive. So really what you do is you keep both guys fresh. You rotate them in and out. It changes the entire game. But really what I'm hopeful here is that they'll be able to run the football. And today they lost their starting center, COVID-19. So we'll see how that impacts things. I'm getting a little bit nervous about the plus, even though it is lower than that in most spots now.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. But I mean, Green Bay. How many? Who's all out? Who's all out there? Do you have the report or what?
I do the Green Bay injury report. I don't expect them to be missing too many people. I know they're missing Martez Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah.
But he makes all the difference in the world. I also think they will be missing Alan Lazard, though I'm not certain about that. And they don't have a very healthy running back core. I know A.J. Dillon is healthy, but Aaron Jones has been beat up the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And they are still missing Bakhtiari, who's probably a top 3 left tackle in the entire league. It hasn't bit them yet because they've been out to such good leads, and so they haven't really had to pass the ball late in the game.
They
But
probably
the Browns
haven't
have
faced
Myles Garrett, and Myles Garrett's going to get downfield and rush Aaron Rodgers. Without Bakhtiari, I would expect him to line up across from the left tackle spot quite a lot tomorrow. that's assuming he's good to go right now. They did say he's 50-50 if they had to play right now. So hopefully, he's good to go. But Jadeveon Clowney, another guy who can rush the passer, he can contain Rodgers in the pocket. I fully expect Cleveland to get right up in his face and make this a difficult ball game.
I was going to say they probably haven't really faced a defensive line like Cleveland has. So
there aren't many defensive lines like Cleveland. And the other piece of it is Cleveland is going to run a little bit of army here. They're going to keep you off the field the entire game if they can. And they don't have the greatest quarterback in the world, no doubt, but he can move the chains a little bit. And I would expect them to have a lot up their sleeve for this game. This is a big game for Cleveland if they want to make the playoffs.
One bet I do kind of like when a quarterback is going up against a great defensive line, look at his run total to go over, because obviously I think, Aaron Rodgers might scramble a little bit, he's going to try to pick up as many yards as he can. So take a look at that rushing total. You might see it pretty low at like 5 or something like that. So that's kind of one of my bets I like to bet when you're facing a good defensive line. So, all right, Kenny, what do you got for your second pick?
So for my second pick, I'm rolling with Vegas money line. I actually really didn't like Vegas up until last week. The fact that they were able to pull out that game against Cleveland was huge. I also think Denver are some of the biggest frauds in the NFL. Like, I think, they blew out Dallas on a week that they played absolutely terrible football. They beat the Chargers, but that's a divisional game. And outside of that, I don't see a lot of quality wins for Denver this year. They're not going to have Teddy Bridgewater this week, so we're putting Drew Lock to beat Derek Carr this week. Like, I hate that spot. I'm actually really shocked that it's kind of a 50-50 right now on this game. I know Denver's defense has been pretty solid for most of the year, but I just think the Raiders are going to go in, coming off the momentum of last week. They're going to pick up another win, keep their playoff hopes alive, and we're finally going to get to eliminate Denver from the playoff hunt, because it's been making me sick seeing them there every week, because I don't think anyone's taking them seriously as being a playoff team this year in the NFL.
So what about, we all know if, Vegas is missing weapons that they have. Like, how do you think that, is this going to continue on? Them can continue to win games without their main guys that they had earlier on in the season? Like, you think that's not an issue going into Denver? Or are you just basing this pick off Denver just being not that good and they're overrated?
I think it's a combination of both. Like Derek Carr's had a phenomenal year this year. It doesn't get talked about a lot, but he's been great for them. I don't think Darren Waller is going to be back this week. I know that he's still questionable. Yeah,
Confirmed.
So I don't think he's playing this week. So yeah, missing that hurts, but like having Josh Jacobs, I think he's been a solid running back for them. And yeah, I just think Denver are frauds, as Josh would say. So I'm going with the Raiders this week, money line.
Using my term, my term for that. Huh?
Your show. I'm sorry. I didn't get permission first, but it just felt right to say the term frauds.
That's okay. So. Hey, whenever you want, you just let me know and I'll let you use it. Yeah, fair enough. It's kind of interesting what Vegas has done so far. And might I add, Derek Carr. No, actually, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure Derek Carr is consistently thrown for 4,000 yards every year.
He's number 3 in the league this year in passing yards. It's a nice bet with plus 1,000.
And almost never gets talked about as one of the better QBs in the league. So I think that this is a great spot for him to make the playoffs, make a statement, and show that he's actually like, remember when Gruden wanted to get rid of him and there was all this talk, and it's like, why? Like, Derek Carr's like, I think most of us think that he's good, so I didn't understand it, but yeah, no, very underrated. I might say I like Derek Carr. It's just kind of odd. It's actually great what he's doing in Vegas, considering what he's got around him. But yeah, I like the pick there. I might not get on the train that Denver's frauds, but I don't think they're.
You should get on that train. It's leaving the station here. You should get on that train because everybody should get on that train.
I'll give it one more week. We'll see what happens here. We're gonna go to Dylan for his second pick. Now he is rolling with Philly Giants over 3.5 field goals plus 130 for a unit. Now I'm pretty sure he has grabbed an alternate line here because I you know what, I couldn't really tell you, to be honest with you, but I think it is an alternate line. I'm not 100% sure.
I mean, we know
No,
neither team
It's
likes
actually
scoring
not. It's
touchdowns.
not.
Neither team likes scoring touchdowns. Kenny's right, so this is probably the line.
I think so, actually. Yeah, I just looked at it.
Who's
But
starting
yes,
at QB for the Giants this week?
Mike Glennon.
Is it Glennon again?
Or Jake
so he's good for 2 to 3 field goals this
Oh
week.
yeah. So he says Giants D are sneaky good and love to hold teams to field goals, and their offense sucks.
Simple and effective.
So yeah, you're looking.
Is that the
at-
theme of his week? Is just this team sucks. This
Sucks,
guy
yeah.
sucks.
Oh yeah, no, that's pretty much what we're. Yeah, if you haven't caught on to this little pattern that Dylan's on, you just wait. But yeah, he's looking at 4 field goals total in this game, plus 130 for a unit. Giants, how many field goals did they score against Dallas? Or no, how many field goals did Dallas score last week?
3.
It was a couple for sure. Hey,
Yeah, there's a few.
Fuck
And
Greg
what's his
Zerline.
name? Who's the kicker there?
Fucking bum.
I was gonna say the kicker missed a couple, didn't he?
Fucking Greg Zerline.
Kickers, eh?
Kickers.
All right,
Kickers.
Luke.
5 field goals last week was the,
5, it
was
was,
the total.
yeah, I thought it was
But
something
between the two, so
Disgusting. I had the over like 34. I live bet the over 34 something. I couldn't even get that. It's
my
disgusting.
condolences.
All right, let's go to Luke for his second pick. Luke, what are you running with for your second?
Yeah, so this is based off Travis Kelce being out and Tyreek Hill being out for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh,
Those are 2 huge pieces for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm not saying the Steelers are going to win this game. It's not a homer pick at all, but I guarantee you if those 2 are playing, it's going to be a hard time for Patty Mahomes for the day. So I think the under 45.5 is probably a solid pick for me.
So you must be confident in your Pittsburgh Steelers to shut down Patty Mahomes then.
I'm confident in the fact that he's not going to have his 2 best weapons. That's the confidence I have.
What if he's got one of them? Hypothetically, let's say he's got Tyreek Hill, no Kelce. Then what?
I'd rather have him not have Kelce than Tyreek Hill, because Travis Kelce. First of all, the Steelers haven't never been able to stop a tight end in fucking 26 years of life. I've never seen them one time actually stop a tight end. So Travis Kelce versus already very banged up Steelers linebacker core. Devin Bush is out most likely with COVID, and Joe Schobert can barely run, let alone anything else. So seeing him against Travis Kelce is an absolute fucking nightmare. So if there was anything, I'd rather see Tyreek Hill on Joe Hayden rather than the other way around.
Like they've gotten some pieces back though for that secondary in Pittsburgh, correct? Like they were hurt.
Yes, we got Joe Hayden back fully healthy, which is a huge boost for them. Minka Fitzpatrick is starting to finally play like Minka Fitzpatrick of old, and getting Alex Highsmith back along with a healthy TJ Watt, which I don't know how healthy he actually is with that groin.
Yeah.
But he still requires two people to block him at all times. So it always frees up Cam Hayward. So I'm not saying the Steelers are winning this weekend because I really don't even want to watch the game. But if Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill are both out, that's huge for Pittsburgh.
That's true. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think if both those guys are out, I even think if I'm pretty confident in Pittsburgh's D. If you get even one of them out, I think they can. This under can still hit. I just don't trust really Patty Mahomes right now. Like even after his last 2 games have been great, it's still I don't know. I don't have a ton of trust there, but I agree with you.
That's the entire AFC though.
Yeah,
I mean that's the entire AFC. I don't know who to trust in the AFC.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I like the pick. That brings us to the halfway point of the show, gentlemen. You know what that means. It is the player pick of the week. When shopping online, www.playergolf.com, make sure you use promo code BETTHEOVER for 20% off. I'm obviously wearing the hat. I'm always wearing their gear. Kenny looks like he's going the Homer route, not wearing any of their gear, but that's okay. But yeah, make sure to check them out. Follow them on Twitter @PlayerAthletics. They've just got a ton of stuff. If you're looking for golf attire, golf wear, golf accessories, that is the one spot to go. Or if you're more into athletic wear, they're just going to the athletic wear game, running shorts, joggers, outside stuff like that. Check them out. Just prime product. So you should definitely take a look there. So, but the player pick of the week this week, I've been vouching to stay away from the NFL because it has fucked me so many times this year. So I'm continuing to stay away from the NFL. I thought about, do I maybe make like a 2-game parlay, for the player pick of the week? I was like, nah, you know what? Fuck it. No NHL, obviously. So we're dealing with some couple tough times for Josh's slate. But, I found a college football pick that I like. It is bowl season. Bowl season started this week. I am rolling with, this is Monday, the 27th. I'm rolling with Nevada to cover the 6.5 minus 110 for 2 units. Not sure why. I just picked this about an hour ago. I do not know why Nevada are underdogs. They shouldn't be underdogs. They had an 8-4 season. They're playing Western Michigan, who is, I believe, 7-5 or something like that. Nevada is the better team. I don't know why the line is where it's at, but I'm bouncing on it either way. I do not care. Fun fact for you, Kenny, for you, Cody Fajardo from Nevada played for the Nevada Huskies behind Colin Kaepernick. So I am rolling with the Nevada Huskies to win.
Did you not think that your CFL insider knew where Cody Fajardo went? Like, come on, man. I had no idea. I found that actually kind of interesting. It's Nevada, all right. But he's from there. I'm rolling, like I said, I'm rolling Nevada. I cover the 6.5. I just don't know why this line is where it's at. I haven't heard of any injuries that I've seen. So I'm taking them to cover the 6. I think they win this game personally, but you never know. That's why I'm only betting 2 units at 80 max. So, all right, Source. I hope you're back because it's your turn to go for the third pick.
We're
Joel,
here. I just like looking at Kenny's face in the full screen, We're going to go with Miami money line for 2 units at minus 125. We did lock in the +3. We also locked in the +140 earlier in the week in a parlay with another team that we're going to talk about on the show. But we do like Miami to win even when the Saints are healthy this week. And the Saints just lost their quarterback as if they didn't already have enough issues at the position.
Which one?
Ian Book is going to be the starting quarterback for the Saints this week. It is confirmed for Monday Night Football. Ian Book, fine college player, had a great season last year.
The pride of Notre Dame.
Yeah, in college football for Notre Dame. Notre Dame does 2 things well that the Saints don't necessarily do well. One of those is throw the football. The other one is block for the quarterback. The Saints have not been good at that, so we'll see. I would expect this total to drop. I would expect Miami to close at about minus 150. They are hot. Miami has been one of the best teams in football since about week 4, I believe. They've won 7 of 8 games. I don't see any reason to bet against this team at this point. And in fact, we have the under 9.5 wins for Miami on the season for 5 units. So an under 9.5 wins. So this is actually a tough one to pick. But we do have to roll with the punches here and just take the better team and the healthier team.
So question for you. That defense looked pretty good last week against Tampa Bay and Tom there. Now, are you basing this pick? Are you banking on Tua to kind of control their defense to kind of control the game more or less, or do you think
Well, it's twofold here, Josh, and I'm gonna just pull this up because it makes it easier. I'm gonna pull up the injury report for the Saints that I had bookmarked here. Saints players placed on the COVID list just today, so this is that it's over. But they're missing Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian, QBs 1 and 2. Or I guess technically 2 and 3 because you already lost Jameis Winston. They lost safety Malcolm Jenkins, top safety in the league. Jordan Mills at offensive line. Christian Ringo, defensive tackle. Jalen Holmes, defensive end. Safety Jeff Heath. Linebacker Caden Ellis. And offensive lineman James Carpenter. That's all today.
Wow.
That's about 10 COVID cases today. They already didn't have their head coach last week. He is yet to test out of protocols in Sean Payton. It's just a matter of how much of this team can actually get on and prepare for a game plan. They don't really need a new game plan to stop Tom Brady. The Saints have always been able to stop Tom Brady. Sean Payton and his crew have pretty much had Tom's number over the last 10 years as far as the defensive strategy. Can they come up with a defensive strategy for an entirely new football team with 20% of their roster out, no quarterback, and then on top of that, no head coach in the facility? The odds are stacked against that. I think the Saints are going to take a loss here this week, unfortunately.
It's sounding like we're going to need to bring in the replacements here right away. And even for Sean Payton, might need Kevin James to come coach the team.
Gotta get Shane Falco out there and get him rolling.
I do want to say this. I think Ian Book is going to be better than most people anticipate. I know he was a late round pick, but he was good in college. He does have a good read option game, which is what the Saints have been doing well with both quarterbacks 2 and 3 in Simeon and also in Taysom Hill. Losing Taysom Hill for me in the fantasy playoffs has been by far the worst blow of the week. So I don't think that the Saints can score any points against this Miami defense. It's actually been very good. I think Miami might actually shut them out in this game.
Really?
We had a fat man touchdown for Miami last week. So.
We did indeed, which means everybody's on board. Everybody likes a fat man touchdown.
Yeah.
It might be also, I don't want to say a good spot, but a not as bad spot for Ian Book as well. He's not going up against a Pittsburgh defense or anything like that. But like you said, Miami's defense has been good, but I don't know.
Well, there's two things that Brian Flores does well. Brian Flores is not the greatest head coach in the world. No one's going to say that Tua is the greatest quarterback in the world because I think we know that he's not even the best Alabama quarterback in the league at the moment. He's probably number 3, in fact, behind both Jalen Hurts, who was an Alabama product at the beginning there, and then also behind Mac Jones, who's a better quarterback, and I'll stand by that. I wouldn't trade Mac Jones for Tua right now.
That's fair.
I think that Brian Flores has done a great job against rookie quarterbacks, a lot like Bill Belichick. It's something that he carried over from his time in New England. Miami's defense and their special teams play flawless football, and if you can win the position game battle against a rookie quarterback, you're probably going to be in a good place to win the game.
Yeah. That's fair. I do like this pick. Like you said, all those COVID injuries definitely scare a guy. And Miami has been pretty good so far. And that line, like you said, will probably drop. So get it now if you can. It dropped when me and Source were talking earlier on the day. It went from, like you said, plus 140 down to minus 125. So jump on it now if you can. We're going to go to Kenny. Kenny, for your third pick, what are you running with for your third? We talked about the other team, but now it's time to talk about the team that they're going up against. What do you got?
So this pick is very much me playing my opponent because I texted Josh yesterday and said that I had a feeling that he was going to go with New England money line. And so I'm matching him by taking Buffalo money line at plus 115, 2 units. I think the Patriots were very fortunate to get Buffalo in those conditions. Obviously, Mac Jones only threw 3 passes. He didn't look great last week against Indy. I think they're going to force him to throw the ball a bit this week, and we'll see how well he performs in this game. I think Buffalo is just the better team overall. So I'm rolling with Buffalo money line this week at plus 115. Plus, it's a divisional game. When 2 teams are as close as they are, I typically tend to lean split. So I think that they split this week.
Oh, now.
Oh, maybe we shouldn't mute just Luke. Interesting. Kenny, this is gonna be an interesting showdown. This is probably, knowing the two of us, this is what it's gonna come down to is this game. So I'll have to be shooting you notes during this game when the Patriots are up by 2 scores. It'll be fun.
Sounds good.
I really do hope it comes down to this game because that would be a ton of fun. Now, I'm going to ask this kind of the same thing I asked Source there. What do you take away from last game, considering that Josh Hunt didn't throw the ball very much? Do you think he's going to be slinging a little bit more? What's the weather looking like too? I don't even know that.
I haven't really looked at the weather report. I don't typically do that until Saturday, if that, usually Sunday morning. I mean, Allen threw the ball. He just didn't throw it very well, and it's tough to throw it when they were in the conditions that they were in. Buffalo was too stubborn to run the football because they realized that they don't even have a starting running back, because I don't know if you could classify Singletary, Breda, or Zach Moss, whoever they plan on rolling out there, as a running back. So I think that they're going to do a good job this week throwing the football. As I said, I tend to lean division split when you've got a 1A, 1B type situation, which is what I think Buffalo and New England really are in this division. So that's why I'm leaning Buffalo. I think the value at plus money as well is what really got me to jump at the line. And then obviously knowing Joe as well as I do, I assumed that New England might be in the mix. His is only a unit -2. So yeah, I mean, if I get this pick wrong, then I'm in serious trouble in the matchup. So this is going to be the pivotal one, I think.
But we're up against each other in more than one game. We'll get to that in a second. I already heard your pick going up against me. So there are multiple games where we're going head to head here, Kenny.
I like it.
I personally like Buffalo in this spot. I think this is a good spot for him. The value, I mean, you got to jump on that value, I think. I think Mac Jones kind of comes down back to earth here a little bit. I definitely agree with that. So, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. It'll be a fun one to end on if that's what it's going to come down to. So, let's keep her moving to. We're going to Dylan for his third pick.
So who sucks?
Just wait. Dylan's third pick, he's going with Tampa Bay to lead after every quarter against the Carolina Panthers, plus 110 for 2 units right now it is. Now, here is Dylan's analysis on Cam Newton. Cam Newtown sucks.
So exactly what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. And I did not misspell that. That is exactly what I got sent from Dylan. Cam Newtown sucks. So we talked about the Tampa Bay game already. It's a good spot for them to bounce back. That first quarter is going to be important for them to get up to a lead and then basically hold on to it for the rest of the game. And I think that's pretty easy to do in Cam Newtown and the Carolina Panthers. That is Dylan's third pick. So we're going to go to Luke for his third pick. What do you got for your third pick? What are you blowing into the mic there? What are you doing? He's muted again. He might even be gone. Luke, where'd you go? He might be gone.
I think he might have retired.
He's back now. Wait, give me a second.
Oh, God, that was awful. The dog jumped on my lap and the phone went flying and everything. Oh, God. Okay, so I've been playing with fire with the Seattle Seahawks team, okay? But let's face it, the Bears are not a good football team, especially with Matt Nagy at the helm. They are just a dumpster fire of a football team. And I feel bad for Justin Fields because I'm a true Buckeye and I hate to see him struggle the way he is. But Matt Nagy is not helping the situation at all up there in Chicago. And I really think that I'm going to give it to Dangerous and DK and Tyler Lockett. I think they can get it done this week against just this very, very bad Chicago Bears team. But coming off a terrible loss last week, I think they played Minnesota last week, and it was just an ugly, ugly fucking game. So,
what? So did they said that they're gonna fire or like Matt Nagy and the Chicago Bears are gonna part ways after the season? Is that correct?
I would hope.
Did I not hear that, or are they still rolling with Matt Nagy?
But they are going to fire him, and if they're going
to mutually part ways, Joe.
Yeah,
they're not going to fire him.
If they don't move on from him, it's because he has something on the ownership group.
You ain't kidding. He
has
something on somebody to keep that job as long as he has.
Yeah, so it's kind of just I don't know. Anyway, but I like this spot for Seattle. I think they bounce back here. Their offense is still, I think, pretty good. Russell Wilson, on the other hand, I don't know, man. Some of those throws I see.
Well, he's going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler next year, so it don't matter.
Let me be honest here. I think this game, and I know this isn't my side of the brag here, but this is a game of coaches that are both going to be moving on to different teams next season.
Yeah.
Because Pete Carroll's either going to retire or he's going to go coach some hot shot in a coaching opening. I actually think this could be Pete Carroll's next team in Chicago, with a brand new
that'd be
quarterback who can run the ball, in Justin Fields. So this might be his audition.
Yeah, I agree. That's actually a very interesting kind of tidbit. That could be a really pretty cool tandem if Pete Carroll decides to go to Chicago. But I do agree with you. I do like I do like the Seattle Seahawks. But let's keep it moving here. That is the end of the third round. Quickly before we keep going, BetUS, they are America's favorite sportsbook. If you notice the top left on your screen or wherever it is, right here, right there, as well as some of the bets you see on there. They are the odds are from BetUS. We're using BetUS. I've been using BetUS a lot more. They are America's favorite sportsbook. They are a great company. Yeah, make sure to check them out. So we're gonna go to, let's go to Source for his fourth pick here. What do you got, Source, for your last one?
Well, we have another pick that directly goes up against Kenny. So this will be interesting. It is our biggest play at 3 units. We're going to take the Arizona Cardinals money line minus 110. There's 3 things. 1, they love teams coming off a loss. 2, they love the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts are getting all kinds of love from Vegas because Jonathan Taylor should win the MVP, and he won't. It's going to be Aaron Rodgers. Surprise, surprise. But it should be Jonathan Taylor. He is, I think, the most dynamic weapon in football right now. But clearly Arizona was looking at this game on the schedule, and that's the reasoning behind their embarrassing loss to the Fighting Detroit Lions. I'm going to go with Dan Campbell's Fighting Lions. I think that team is obviously undersourced at the moment. They're hurt, and yet they were able to win because they, frankly, just took the Arizona. They're coming off back-to-back losses, and they need in order to stay in top spot in their division, with the Rams now holding the tiebreaker. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a great game, probably a matchup of the week. But in a matchup of, give me Kyler Murray over Carson Wentz. I just don't trust Carson. I think he's a garbage quarterback. He is frankly, the only quarterback worse than him in the starting 32 is Cam Newton and maybe Ben Roethlisberger at 40, who just can't throw the ball more than 5 yards. Other than that, there are no worse quarterbacks than Carson Wentz. You noticed last week, Bill Belichick took the ball away from his offense and said, you know what, Carson Wentz just threw us an interception. We're going to kick the field goal here, go down 2 scores because we expect him to do it again. And if it wasn't for Jonathan Taylor absolutely obliterating that defensive line of the Patriots in the fourth quarter, I think they make a comeback there because Carson Wentz can't throw the ball for more than yards at a time without, giving up a fumble and an interception. So it's going to be close. Arizona's going to win. It's going to put Kenny away, and it's going to be exciting.
So the lack of weapons that Kyler Murray has doesn't worry you at all. You think they're going to their offense will still continue to roll?
It actually doesn't worry me too much because of 2 things. One, it was said that James Conner is going to play this week, so you finally have the 2-headed running back monster healthy in James Conner and Chase Edmonds. They haven't been healthy together in quite a while, which keeps them both fresh and should help with the pain management for Conner's heel injury. What you also have is you have an entirely healthy wide receiver core with the exception of D-Hop, who's been banged up all year long. They won't take the top off the defense with him, but Rondell Moore will get some snaps. Rondell Moore has been fantastic. He's actually been one of their better receivers on a yards per attempt basis because he can take the top off that defense. He can fly. He runs a 4.3 40. He's faster than most receivers in the league. And then they have the most reliable tight end in football that's not number 80 in Zach Ertz. I think Zach Ertz is one of the more reliable tight ends in the red zone. He's finally adjusted to that scheme. I don't think they'll settle for field goals here, even with the leg of Matt Prater. I just think the Cardinals are too talented to lose this football game, especially with the Colts are really playing a grinding schedule here. They have back-to-back-to-back good opponents. It's going to be tough for them to keep it going, I think.
Fair enough. You heard it there. Arizona moneyline -110 for 3 units. That is his max play. We're going to go to Kenny for his last pick. Kenny, what are you rolling with for your last one?
Pivotal game in the AFC North this week between Baltimore and Cincy. I think regardless who starts at quarterback this week, Baltimore is going to find a way to win this game because it's the Bungles. And I really do think that at some point it's going to happen. Like, it's weird. Like, they're kind of like the Browns. Like, they're kind of like 1A and 1B of who's going to bungle it worse. And I think that Cincy, they're going to come back down to earth this week. Huntley looked good last week against Green Bay. Like he actually played really well. If they don't go for 2 again, I have to say that again because they decided to go for 2 again and didn't get it and lost a football game.
Here's the thing, Kenny. Like, I didn't mind this one. This one I didn't mind, okay?
But
you have no secondary, you have a backup quarterback. I hate the play call itself because you took away half
that
the
was my
field for
issue
the
with
kid.
it. But like I was fine with them going for it, but yeah, the play call was terrible. Rolling out, where the football's going, like it just
rolling to the short side against a double covered tight end that you're going to never ends well.
Yeah. So I think this week the defense, they're going to slow down Mixon. They one of the better rush defenses in the league. Once again, I think this is going to be a division split. So I'm rolling with Baltimore to take it on the money line.
I like the 2-point conversion just because you got Aaron Rodgers on the other end. He had enough time to even go down and kick a field goal. So really, you had to, you
had to put pressure on him.
I will stand behind the 2-point conversion being stupid, Josh. I'll stand behind that all day long. I know my partner disagrees with me. He thinks Aaron Rodgers is too good to give him the football in overtime. I hate the 2-point conversion. They couldn't do it against the Steelers on the road. I understand that one far more than I understand this one at home. You've got a quarterback in Huntley who actually was dealing 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns. He was looking great. And you have the best kicker in the history of football, so you're going to get some points on the board in overtime. And you got to trust your defense, who's actually been very good in the second half in that game. I will say I don't hate the play call necessarily. If you're going to go for 2, I like that play call because if you look at it, Hollywood Brown was wide open. There was nobody within 10 yards of Hollywood Brown. Unfortunately, Huntley just got a little nervous, threw it to his tight end. If he held that ball for a half a second more, he had a wide open receiver in the end zone.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I mean, I like the play, but I think you're going to be 50% on that play either way, just in terms of opinion. So it is what it is, but we're going to keep moving on here. 2 more picks left. I'm going to go to Luke actually for his last pick. What do you got, Luke?
Yeah, so we're going with the Rams -3 this weekend. This is a pivotal game for the Rams. I mean, they need to stay above the Arizona Cardinals as much as possible in this their last division race with 3 weeks to go. So I think this is a very critical game, especially in the NFC. The NFC, that number 1 seed is still up for grabs. So I think this is another week that Cooper Kupp can absolutely ball, especially for the JPP's finger bangers because we're in the semifinals. So if Cooper Kupp balls this week with Matty Stafford, why not? We're not talking about, though, that Matt Stafford has had a wide receiver break the NFL record for most receiving yards in a single year, which was Calvin Johnson. And now he quite possibly is going to have a second wide receiver going to break the record for most receiving yards of the season in Cooper Kupp, which is absolutely insane.
That is nuts if you think about it. That is crazy. Wow. It should be a good spot for them. They're playing the Vikings, but is Dalvin Cook's back?
Dalvin Cook is out with COVID-19. It will be the Madison show. The only thing really to worry about here, the Vikings cover every time as a dog. I mean, the Vikings are the best dog team in the NFL.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
It makes me nervous, but Luke is right. Stafford is a better quarterback than Cousins. He has a better weapon. He has better weapons across the board. And then on top of that, they're just a better team. They're better coached than the Vikings, who are, I think, one of the worst coached teams in the league. If they didn't have so much talent at wide receiver, then their coach would also be on the hot seat because they mismanage games more than anyone else in the league.
Yeah, 100%. I'd like the rounds here in this spot. Should be good. Now we got one more pick left, and that is going to be we got Dylan Smith all the way from Mexico. Dylan, how we doing?
Doing good, boys. Sorry I couldn't make the whole show, but thought I'd make an appearance for the last one here. I'm pretty
Absolutely.
busy.
Well, take us through your last one.
So my last pick of the night is the Kansas.
Oh,
There it is.
Oh, we lost you there.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I might be running some spotty internet, but I got the Chiefs -7. I know Kelsey's out. I know Hill's out. I don't care. Patrick Mahomes is going to try and win the MVP. The Chiefs are going to get the 1 seed. The Chiefs are probably going to win the Super Bowl. I know you guys are going to hate that, but they're going to. They last year pissed them off. They didn't care at the start of the year. They're proving, and they have a much improved defense from ever before. They're going to prove to everybody that they're still the team to beat in the NFL, and the odds makers are showing it right now with the Super Bowl favorites. So, like, I just think it's too easy of a game. They're playing a bad team, and yeah, I got the Chiefs. I don't care who Patrick Mahomes is throwing to. He's going to throw 3 TDs. Their defense is going to score 1. They'll give up 14.
So do you think possibly, even if Tyreek Hill is out, we're going to see guys like Hardman step up and get some touchdowns? Or, you think this offense is good enough?
I think so. I know at the start of the year, everybody had questions and all that, but you watch their games lately. They haven't been scoring all that much, and they're still putting up a lot of yards. So I think the last thing for them to figure out is their red zone offense. But other than that, I think one of Hill or Kelsey will play. The NFL is so corrupt. You can't tell me they're not going to test positive come game time. At least one of them, if not both of them. It's how many superstars have missed games this year because of COVID? Not many. It's a corrupt league. The Chiefs, they want them to be their face of the NFL, so they'll find a way to make sure everyone's playing. If not, even if they're out, I think they have enough. They're not weapons in terms of high level guys, but they have enough guys that can catch the ball when you have a really fucking good quarterback throwing it to you.
Yeah.
Is he a really good quarterback? I don't know. They were talking about him being the next Tom Brady, and then this season he's not even going to win, the division. So we'll see.
I mean, they're going to be the 1 seed. He's going to be top 5 in MVP again, and he's.
I'm just messing with you.
Full year?
No,
you
where in
fucking
Mexico
guy.
are you, my friend?
We're just outside Playa del Carmen.
Oh, sweet. So you're in Cancun, right outside there.
Yeah, right between them.
Right on. That's
So
a good spot. If you get a chance, there's a couple of nice nightclubs there. You should try to visit. Live life.
Yeah,
I'm
we went to
only there
one
for the
last night.
wings. No, nothing else. Just wings.
I see a couple of videos of Dylan in a nightclub last night. It looks like he was thoroughly enjoying it. Well, you heard it there, Dylan. He says, old Uncle Roger there, he's corrupt. And I'm just kidding.
We knew that.
Casey's going to be covering the 7 points, -138 for 3 units, all the way from that spotty internet in Mexico. We're so glad to have him. That is the end of the show, gentlemen. That is the end. I'm going to just do a quick sign off and as well as confirmed picks. Source, you're running with the Pats, moneyline -130 for a unit. The Browns, moneyline +290 for a unit. Miami, moneyline -125 for 2 units. And then the Arizona moneyline -110 for 3 units. Parlay all those money lines there. How about that?
Take all of them. The +290 makes it a very nice payout. I'm excited to announce that. I will be parlaying, just because you said that. I will parlay all of those so that when I sweep next week, I come back with a nice positive unit count to finish it off. But Kenny, this is going to be interesting. 2 of us are going head-to-head in 2 different matchups this week. Hopefully you go 0 for 2. Hope everybody else wins their matchups, and we make some good progress towards positive units on the show overall. Josh, another great season. I'll be back next week or 2 weeks from now. I'm not sure when the scheduled final is to take home the belt. So I appreciate you having me on. And yes, those are correct.
Scheduled for next Thursday, a week from today, just right before New Year's Eve. So we'll see who's going to be there. But Kenny, we're going to go to you here. You're going with Indy money line -105 for a unit. Vegas money line -105 for a unit. Buffalo Bills money line +115 for 2 units. Baltimore money line +135 for 3 units. Is that all correct? And where can they find you? But also, by the way, I think that's the first time I've had a matchup where everybody's gone a money line. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, no, seriously, Josh, I first want to say thanks for having me on for another season. I will be back next week for that show. But yeah, you can follow me on all social platforms at shooters_pod. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to all you guys, especially, including Job, who I don't see on the screen, but I hope that he has a happy holidays as well. But yeah, thanks so much once again, Josh.
Anytime, my man. Thanks for coming on. Luke, we're going to go to you. You're going with Tampa Bay to cover the 10 points, -110 for a unit. Kansas City, Pittsburgh, under 45.5, -110 for 2 units. Seattle to cover the 6.5 spread, -110 for 2 units. And then the Rams to cover the 3, -110 for 2 units. Is that all correct? And where can they find you?
That is all correct, Josh. I am so happy to be a part of the jolliest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house. It was another great year with you guys. Glad to be back in the playoffs. Glad to be going up against Dylan this week. I think I lost to him in the regular season, I'm pretty sure. So I can't wait for this week to start. It's Christmas. We got gambling. I mean, I don't know what else you want. I mean, I really don't. I hope we all go. I hope at the end we're all 16-0 and it comes down to units, but we'll see. We'll see. I just want to thank you for sure. And Dylan, good luck, bud. Have fun in Mexico.
Always, my man. Thanks for coming on for another season. Dylan, we're going to go to you here. Chargers to lead after each quarter, +115 per unit. Eagles, Giants, over 3.5 field goals, +130 for a unit. Tampa Bay to be leading after each quarter, +110 for 2 units. And then the Kansas City Chiefs to cover the 7 points, -138 for 3 units. Is that all correct? And where can they find you?
That's all correct. You can find me on Twitter yelling at somebody like always. Yeah, no, thanks, Josh, again. I mean, you should be thanking me and Source for carrying the units in the show. But, no, thanks for having me. I'll always be around and be on in the finals for sure because I ain't missing bowl seasons. So,
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. And hope most of the boys do really well, just not too well. And I see you next week.
Not as good as you, right? Not as good as you.
Yeah, as long as it's not as good as me.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks a lot, everybody, for coming, joining us tonight. We had quite a few views, actually. Player pick of the week is going to be Nevada. This is on Monday, Nevada, +6.5, -110 for 2 units. Make sure to check that out on Monday against Western Michigan's junk. They're horrible. So we will see everybody next week for the final. We'll see who's in that final this upcoming weekend. Dylan, you have a safe flight home. I know you're coming back right away. Have fun in Mexico for the remaining, I think, night that you have there. So everybody have a great night and a great weekend. And, let's make some money. Everybody have a Merry Christmas as well. Happy holidays. So let's have a great weekend.